Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes, and I want to welcome you to today. Today, we're going to be discussing what does it mean to awaken. There has been so much information about awakening and the great awakening that's ongoing. We want to clarify for you how to know if you are awakening or not, and what some of the symptoms are, what some of the activities that occur inside you as an individual when you can know that you're actually awakening, which then leads you to what brings you to being awakened. The actions you'll go through in terms of understanding the process of knowing what it is to awaken, you'll then be able to move to the process of deliberately and intentionally awakening yourself and connecting to your source energy, to your guides, to your angels, to other multidimensional beings that are available to you and your awareness outside of the confines of your mind. And we're just going to wait a few minutes for people to come and join us. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day, enjoying these wonderful energies coming to us from the sun. Lots of cosmic energy coming from the sun. I hope you're feeling that and utilizing it and integrating it to allow your DNA, your RNA to be uplifted by the sun. The sun is a greater transmuter of consciousness than any medicine that man can contrive. The light of the sun is enlightening if you understand how to utilize the energy from it, not simply to feel its warmth. That's just a physical interpretation of it, but to also experience the actual energy that elevates you up when you integrate it. So awakening, what does it mean to awaken? Good morning. What does it mean to awaken? This is an important question. I've been asked that question a lot, so we're going to address it today. To awaken means that you no longer are subjective to the dictates of your body and your acquired understanding of what you've been taught to believe that life is. I'm going to repeat that again. To awaken means, to be awakened means you have risen above being subjective to the dictates of your biology and what you've been conditioned to believe about the world. And there are very specific things that happen in an individual when they are beginning to awaken. Very specific, precise things that you can recognize to know if you are awakening and whether or not you are awakened. There is a slightly different variation in terms of what awakening will actually look like. I'm just getting a few things set up here too at the same time. Thank you, Spirit. One of the very first things to know that you're awakening, the very first things to know that you are beginning to awaken, is you recognize there's a distinction between you and what you're observing in your mind and body. You recognize what's going on in my mind and what's going on in my body doesn't feel right. It doesn't seem correct. And you want to find a way to correct it. You begin to question thoughts and emotions. You begin to, why am I feeling this? Why are these thoughts coming from? Why is my body feeling this way? You begin to question. That's the beginning of awakening. Those are the three primary signs to know that you're beginning to awaken. It doesn't mean you will awaken. It just means you are beginning to awaken. When you are deliberately and intentionally awakening yourself, you recognize the signs. These thoughts, where did I get these thoughts from? Why am I having these thoughts? Why am I having these emotions? Why is my body this way? When you begin to question those three elements, thoughts, emotions, and body, when you begin to question why are these things the way they are, you are beginning to awaken. And when I say you, I mean the you that is a soul, the awareness, the non-physical being that you are that is functioning through the body you currently exist in. As you begin to question thought, emotion, and body, you are actually distancing yourself. You're moving yourself into a position where you are now observing body, mind, and emotion. And it is only from that perspective that you can begin to deliberately and intentionally liberate yourself from subjectivity to the thoughts, emotions, and conditions of your body. From that perspective of awareness, you can begin to initiate deliberate and intentional changes in your mind, in your emotions, and in your body. And that is the process of doing the work. What people call doing the work is where you are literally beginning to distinguish yourself from the content of your mind, the energy of your emotions, and the conditions of your biology or your body. You begin to realize this is something that's not me, it's something I utilize. A lot of people get stuck in different areas. A lot of people get stuck in the thoughts. They believe the thoughts are who they are, or they believe the emotions are who they are, or they believe the body is who they are. In that perspective, people get stuck there. They get stuck. These emotions I'm feeling are so terrible. They're not who you are. Your emotions are not who you are. Your emotions are your energy. Energy that you have access to, that you've been gifted and given by spirit. Emotions are energy in motion that you can learn to alter and change deliberately and intentionally. You can deliberately and intentionally change your emotions. You can deliberately and intentionally change your thoughts. You can deliberately and intentionally alter your body by learning to change your thoughts and emotions, because thoughts and emotions organize the conditions that you are experiencing in your body right at this moment or at any moment. This is the process of awakening. That's what it means. To awaken means to distinguish yourself as an awareness from the content of your mind, your emotions, and your body, not to separate from them, to make a distinction between them. The body is something that you use while you're in this physical dimension to walk, to talk, to eat, to experience sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. Your body is a mechanism that you use for that. Your emotions are energy that you use to reorganize matter, the conditions of your body. Certain emotions organize your body in very precise states. Emotion that you can choose to alter and change. When you awaken, you then move from being subjective to mind, emotions, and body, and you begin to move into a place called creation or purposeful being. When you begin to distinguish between your thoughts, your emotions, and your body, you can start to move towards deliberate and purposeful being. In other words, you can begin to select, choose, and create your life. You can begin to align yourself to higher vibrational entities, God, superintelligence, universal consciousness, great spirit, whatever you choose to call this higher power. When you are awakened, you can begin to align to that and operate from higher awareness. For your mind and your body and your emotions are predominantly filled with only the information and the ideas of this physical world. Thereby, you are limited to the ideas and information of this physical world, so you find yourself stuck living the way you're living, being what you're being, or doing what you're doing in this realm because you're stuck in the information, the interpretations that you've been provided by this world. The goal here today for us is to get you into the position where you recognize that you are awakening, and everybody to some degree is awakening. Every one of you to some degree is awakening. When you begin to question your thoughts, you are awakening. When you begin to question your emotions, you are awakening. When you are questioning the conditions of your body, you are beginning to awaken. When you begin to alter thoughts and emotions, you are awakened. You are awakened, and you are now beginning to do the work of organizing mind, emotion, and matter to serve you. Because that's what mind, emotion, and matter are here to serve you, not to subjugate you. And so many of you find yourself lost in the subjugation you experience of your thoughts, your emotions, your body. You want to escape from your bodies. You want to escape from this world. And yet you cannot escape from the responsibility of learning that you are able to develop the skill set necessary to organize mind, emotion, and matter. That is what you came here to do, to consciously learn to organize mind, matter, and emotion. And once you begin to practice that deliberately, intentionally, you can experience great changes in your health. You can experience great peace of mind. You can experience calmness in the face of all kinds of nonsense going on in this world and not get entrapped in the illusionary aspects of mind, emotion, and body. Rather, you move into the position where you begin to organize mind, emotion, and body to serve you. This instrument that you find yourself in is there to serve you, not to subjugate you. These emotions that you have are energy that you have acquired that is within your grasp to utilize, to repurpose, to organize the conditions of your life. And thought, ideas, information in your mind that you've acquired from this world will organize your emotions for you, or you can begin to select and choose thoughts deliberately. This is what it means to awaken. You become aware of your thought. You recognize certain thoughts are good for you and certain thoughts are not good for you. You recognize certain emotions are good for you and certain emotions aren't good for you. And you learn to select and choose what thoughts, what emotions, what actions you will utilize in the process of learning to create the conditions of your life in this physical dimension. So what does it mean to awaken to you? It's important that you examine this consideration. It's very important. If you do not choose to examine the thoughts in your mind, then you will remain subjective to them. If you do not choose to examine the source and nature of the emotions you feel, you will be subjective to them. If you do not choose to examine and consider the conditions of your biology, you'll become subjective to them, as are so many on this planet right now. But everyone, without exception, to some degree, is in a process of awakening. So the moment that you begin to consider, why am I having these thoughts? Where are they originating from? The minute you start to examine thought, the minute you start to examine emotion, the minute you start to examine body, you move into the position of awakening. You are beginning to awaken. The moment you begin to examine thought, emotion, and body, you are beginning to awaken. And the minute you begin to reorganize thought, emotion, and body, you are awakened. And when you are awakened, you can begin to learn and do things that the masters and other multidimensional beings have already perfected from their experience of living through the conditions of matter, emotions, and mind, where they are no longer subjective to the littleness, we'll say, of what you call the human condition, but rather they assert an influence over the conditions of time, space, and matter that you are just in the process of beginning to develop. So there are 3 steps to awakening. 3 steps. The first step is you begin to examine your thoughts. The second step is you begin to consider your emotions. You become aware of them. You recognize that your emotions are not you, they're just energy. The third step is you're aware that your body is an instrument that you can use while you're in this physical dimension. That's all it is. Your body is an instrument that you use while you're in this physical dimension. And our goal is very simple: to get you aware that you are aware, to get you aware that you are aware, that you can examine your thoughts, that you can be aware of your emotions, and many of you are, and struggling with them. When we say to you quite simply, the only reason you're struggling is you're simply learning how to manage the distinction between yourself, your thoughts, and your emotions. Once that process is firmly established, you realize, I am not these thoughts. I am not these emotions. I am not this body. I have these. I can reorganize them, alter them, change them, and shift them, and manifest a different expression of myself through mind, emotion, and matter, and thereby organize or reorganize the conditions of my life. This explains why some people can be in deep poverty at one point in life and suddenly find themselves moving to wealth. Why some people can be having difficulty with relationship and they're able to transcend it and move into a good relationship. They move into a process of awakening. They begin to examine thought. They begin to examine emotion. They begin to alter and change it to suit their desired creative outcomes that they wish to master while in this physical dimension. Wonderful news for us. What does it mean to awaken? It means you are aware. It means you're no longer subjective to thought. You're no longer subjective to emotion. You're no longer subjective to body. They are your servants, not your masters. They are your servants, not your masters. Thought is meant to be your servant. And there is no man that you should serve. There is no man in this world that you should serve, for you are that servant that you would seek to find in this world. You are the servant of mind, matter. You direct them. You make them your servant. Very important. Wonderful. Good morning, Victorious. Good morning, Tanya. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Kimberly. Hi, Drusilla. Sunny. So you are awakening when you are recognizing that your thoughts are not who you are. That's when you're awakening. You're beginning to awaken when you recognize and start to examine thoughts. And what does it mean when you awaken? It means you select and choose thought deliberately, intentionally. You learn to organize emotional energy to serve you. You begin to reorganize your body so it works most effectively for you. You become concerned about what the body needs and requires to maintain it optimally. When you awaken, you start to recognize certain things you should do and certain things you should not do. And it becomes very easy then to know the difference between what is right and what is wrong. Question from Nancy. When we come back for our next life, will it be in the fifth dimension? I want peace, love, prosperity for everyone. Again, you will come back to the life that you require to further your development as a sentient being. There are some among you that will not come back to this life, for that they have mastered the process of thought, emotion, and matter. They have recognized that they can change conditions of matter, whether it's directly related to their body or the world around them. They can affect and influence matter around them. Once matter, emotion, and mind are mastered, you go on to something else. But for those of you that are in that process, that choose to come back as a result of you don't understand fully how to create the life of your dreams, you do not fully understand how to create perfect health, you do not understand how to transcend suffering, you do not know how to cultivate patience, you are still subjective to matter, then you will come back. If you are still subjective to the conditions of matter, you will come back to attain mastery over them, to attain mastery over thought, to attain mastery over emotion, to attain mastery over matter. At that point, you will not need to come back. But for the time being, you may find yourself returning. If you want peace, love, and prosperity, it's because you don't have it, which means you'll be coming back so that you can create that. Because when you know you are free to create as you will while you are in this physical dimension, you no longer require this physical dimension. Once you know unequivocally that you can create whatever you desire in this world, you are free from subjectivity to it, and you will evolve to the next level. Once you learn to walk as a dear child, when your body learns to walk as a dear child, you do not have to learn to walk again. You don't have to go back and learn to walk again. When you learn to master matter, thought, and emotion, you will not have to go back to thought, emotion, and matter. You will move into an alternate dimension at that point in consciousness, where you will then be learning something new and beyond the scope of what we can communicate to you at this point. For many of you are still learning to just sort through the simple process of your thoughts, your emotions, your physical conditions. Many of you are still struggling with those. But that struggle is not in vain. That struggle is in alignment with the process of awakening that you are in. If you are struggling with emotions, it's because you are learning to master energy called emotion. If you are struggling with thought, you are learning the process of learning to master thought. If you're struggling with health, then you're learning to master the conditions of matter. And you can, with a simple thought. You can alter conditions of matter as simply as opening and closing your hand. You can alter an organ in your body. You can alter an organ in your body with a simple thought. No audio anymore. Well, I'm not sure why that would possibly be. Someone is asking, my first time in chat, thanks for giving all your time and love. I am like, oh, you're very, very welcome, Mansoura. Thank you very much. Kelly's asking, how do you tell the difference between your thoughts and guidance from others? All voices in my head sound the same. I feel they are all me. This is a very good question for everyone to consider. Yes, I I will speak specifically as William for a moment here. Understand that in the beginning, because you're so attached to your mind and the personality that you have, in the beginning when you're beginning to awaken, before you connect to other dimensional beings, you are attached to the identity that the world has given you, whether the name is Jennifer or Bob or Ross or Mary. Many people are attached to that identity as self, and you will process everything you see, hear, smell, touch, taste, and information that you receive from other dimensions will come through that which you're familiar with. And so you may get guidance from Master Jesus or Master Buddha. You may get guidance from Kuan Yin or the Pleiadians or the Lyrans, and often many of you will hear it in the sound of your own voice in your mind, and you won't be able to make the distinction because you haven't cultivated that level of awareness. So, this vibrational energy is from the Pleiadians. This vibrational energy is from the Divine Collective. This vibrational perspective is from Master Jesus. You learn to become sensitive to the vibrational qualities as opposed to the auditory properties. The vibration is what allows you to distinguish when you're receiving information from other dimensional beings. The vibration, you feel something different. If we were to say to you how deeply and profoundly that we love you all, and you feel a vibration go through your body, then you will know you have picked up an energy outside of what is classified as yourself or you. You're picking up an energy from another source. Much the same way as someone can walk into the room you're at right now and say, I'm so happy to see you right now, and you feel joy. Their energy, you feel the joy of their energy. Well, the same is true for those that are not in physical form, that are attempting and or communicating with you now. It is the vibrational energy is the thing to look for. The difference in the vibration. That vibration can be heard in your own internal voice, the voice that you think of as your own voice. But you'll always make a distinction, because the thought or the idea that they'll communicate to you, even if it is in your own voice, will be something you have never thought of or realized before. That is a very simple way to make that distinction. Question from Tanya. My root, hands, and head are vibrating on high. All I can do lately is lay down and surrender. What can I do to assist the body? To assist the body so it is less uncomfortable. I drink as much as I can. Just let me tune into you, Tanya. Grounding. You need to go out and connect to the earth. When that shaking stops, go out to the largest tree that you can find. Go out to the largest tree that you can find. And allow yourself to embrace that energy, that tree. Trees are great sources of receiving and transmitting energy and balancing electromagnetic fields between Gaia and other forms. If you view life on this dimension from the perspective of energy, from the perspective of electricity, you'll understand this. But go to the largest tree you can and embrace it, and allow the vibration you're feeling to be received by that tree, which will communicate that energy to Gaia, and you will receive something in return. When something is given, something is returned. You are trying to hold on to something that is to be given and offered. Go out and ground. Connect with the largest tree that you can find, and allow that vibration to go into the tree. Give the vibration permission to go to the tree. Offer it up, and allow yourself to receive what comes as you offer it up. You will find peace will come very quickly to your form. You aren't meant to hold all your wisdom and knowledge to yourself. It is meant to be shared and offered up to others, even to a tree, to the earth, to other humans on this planet. Thank you for that question. Question from Catherine. Thank you very much. Yesterday, I had an ultrasound for a bump in my neck in the lymph node. How can our beloved masters tell me if it's cancer? I don't know who this is. I think this is your guardian saying, first, you must not hold reference to that which you would not harbor in your life. Do not hold reference to that which you do not wish to harbor in your life. Rather, you must go to this place. You go into this place and ask it what it needs from you. Go into that place and ask it what it needs from you. Go into it. It is seeking to get your attention. Something appears because it requires your attention. Your attention, not someone else's. It requires your attention. So go into that place and find out what that place needs from you. It may be a nutritional consideration, although we would simply say that is not necessarily the case. But we would strongly encourage you to be willing to offer your love instead of your fear to this. To offer your love instead of your fear will be a great remedy. But so many of you get afraid of that which you do not understand, and your fear creates something you do not understand. So please, when you find this, offer your love to that which gets your attention. Do not offer your fear or your anger or any of the children of fear and anger. Question from Nicole. Thank you for the super chat, Nicole. I really appreciate it. This is from my mom, who is the spirit in my mom's home that keeps looking back to her. Wow. I don't know the first name that came into my consciousness is this being named Jeremiah. Wow. There's this being named Jeremiah. Yes. That's saying that there is a form he will take when your mother is willing to receive his light. Join with it. Do not fear it. So many of you go to fear when you are faced with what you do not understand. Some of you go to fear when you are faced with what you do not understand. Are you not curious like a child? Would you not offer love instead? Would you not? Jeremiah, yeah. This being really wants to work with your mom. Yeah, tell her to receive his light and to offer him hers. Oh, thank you. Beautiful energy. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Thank you, Luz de Luna, for your super chat. Can I get a message from my grandma? I don't know why. There's just a joy. There's this joy that's welling up as she comes in. I'm not. The words coming from her are, "Go slowly with delight. Go slowly with delight." Literally excitement, to be more. She wants you to be more excited. Yes, as you go forward, be more excited. Yeah. Do not worry, child. Do not worry. Go forward with delight. It's interesting because as she's saying these words, go forward in delight, the word she means is like delight, to be delighted. But it's funny, I'm hearing delight, the light. Go forward with the light. So there's a double meaning that I'm picking up from that. I don't know where the light is coming from, if it's just something I'm tapping into or where it's originating. But she wants you to go forward. Yeah. And tell her, when you go forward with delight, you will be delighted. Do not forget your playful nature. 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 Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Question from Daniela. This is for my friend Neri. She would like to know why the strong sciatic pain has appeared this time. There is a pleasure that she is denying herself. There is a pleasure she is denying herself. Is this a physical pleasure or is this something else? No. We cannot say at this time. But we will say there is a pleasure. She is denying herself. I don't know what that pleasure is. Yeah. But do not attack it. Do not attack your pain. Do not attack your pain. So many of you make this error when you experience discomfort. You wish to run away from it. You wish to get rid of it. Do not attack that which calls you to love it. Do not attack that which calls you to love it. Do not deny that which requires love. Many of you do this. Your body is ignored and denied and it suffers, and you find something to alleviate its suffering, but you do not give it your love. You simply want to get rid of your discomfort, not realizing that that discomfort is an aspect of your being that is calling for your love. So many of you deny yourselves love, so you will deny others that love. Even that which is within you, even that which is within your body, you will deny love because you do not like to overcome the discomfort. You're afraid of discomfort. But you will never learn what love is until you can overcome your enemies. You will never learn what love is until you overcome your enemies. Can we rephrase that? Yeah. To overcome your enemies with love. So when you experience something that is displeasing in your life or in your body, extend your love to that. Wow, cool. And these are all things that are about awakening. How do you know when you're awakening? What is it to awaken? You start to become aware. You ask questions. You start to weigh and consider. You start to examine and analyze. You begin to actively become aware of your thoughts, to realize that you're not your thoughts. You begin to actively become aware that you have certain emotions, but you're not those emotions. You begin to become actively aware that your body is an instrument that is designed to serve you. And then you begin to formulate thoughts and ideas and cultivate energies. Energies like love, energies like joy, energies like peace, energies like playfulness. And you begin to use those energies to alter and change the conditions of your body and your mind and your world. This is what it means to awaken. That you are no longer subjective to thought. You choose thought. You're no longer subjected to emotion. You create emotion. You're no longer subjective to body. You organize the conditions of body. This is what it means to awaken. Wonderful. Great questions. Question from Sunny. How do we hold space for people who are going through pain and loss of their loved ones? Thank you. The best space you can hold is to realize that they are not lost, that they have simply left the physical mechanism of expression. You must understand that what you call death is merely the absence of a physical mechanism or medium of expression. What you call death is merely the missing mechanism of physical expression. But it is not the end of your being. The end of your existence is simply one level of your mechanism you cannot express through. But that does not mean that you cannot interact or that they cannot interact with time and space. For those of you that begin to comprehend and realize that the physical mechanism is merely a medium of expression through which you articulate non-physical awareness into a physical medium, utilizing the mechanism of thought and energy or emotion. But that when the mechanism is gone, that does not mean that the individual has left existence. Those dear ones, if they simply close their eyes and feel the energy of that person, they are there. You just have to learn to tune into them. So many of you are attached to your eyes and your ears and your nose and your touches and your smells. You're so attached to those things that you think that is the only reality. But where did you think this reality originated? And how is it you can make your body jump up and down or your arms move around? How do you do that? The body is simply a mechanism that you express your being through. And this is true for all beings, whether they are in form or not in form. Simply, gently remind them of this truth. Have them close their eyes to sense the energy of that being, not the matter of that being, the energy of that being. You know, my partner and I had a really powerful and profound lesson in that last month when we took our time off, where our beloved little puppy dog, Tika, left her physical body. And we went through some really moments of real loss because we loved the physical presence, but we have been feeling her all around us. She's been getting in bed with us. We actually feel her licking our toes. There's very tangible things that we experience. Not all the time, but the minute we tune into her, we can feel her presence. When the form is gone, you can't smell it, touch it, taste it, or feel it from a physical perspective. But when you tune into the energy, you'll feel the energy of that being, because we are all non-physical in essence, but we are working through a physical medium of expression for the purpose of learning to master matter. Thank you for that question. Very, very powerful question. Here we go. Question from Grace. I have started to heal my ancestors' traumas and limiting beliefs. Do they have any message for me? Keep going. Keep going. Yes. Yes. We align to you. We align to you in this. Yes. Thank you. I'm going to take one more question. Oh no, Tika is totally fine. When you realize that the body, the physical realm, is just a mechanism for energy consciousness to express itself through. Consciousness is not matter. Consciousness is not dependent upon matter. Matter is dependent upon consciousness. We give form expression. As conscious beings, we give form expression. And we learn through the interaction of matter that we do that. But no, Tika's not gone. Just not in the physical medium of expression anymore. Question from Bo. I definitely feel as though I have awakened. What is the best way to utilize that enlightenment? Should I pursue more experiences for myself, or should I be helping guide others? This is not an either or. This is an and. This is an and for you. To decide, should I do this or should I do this? You will conflict yourself and never feel fulfilled, but to realize your limitless potential, that you can do this and this and this and this. We cannot tell you how many people we have encountered that the minute they realize they don't have to do this or this, they can do this and this. How freedom fills their heart and their mind when they realize they do not have to give up anything that they love. You can embrace it all. You can embrace it all. So know this, that what it means to awaken is that you are deliberately and consciously, intentionally beginning to question and rearrange thought, emotion, and matter. You begin to articulate a better state of health for yourself. You begin to change your body by changing what you eat, what you do with it. You begin to organize your emotional field by learning to change and alter emotional energy. You learn to alter and restructure thoughts to serve you, no longer being subjective to what you remember as being the sole source of what you think you know. That's what most people do. They spend their time in their mind, living in their past, thinking their past is who they are. You're not your past. You're not your mind. You're not your thoughts. And you are beginning to awaken. You are in the process of being awakened when you start to question thought, emotion, and body. Much love to all of you. Thank you so much for your contributions today. For those of you that are interested in learning more about connecting to your guides, your angels, and other multidimensional beings, please consider signing up for our Mediumship program, which starts August the 28th, Mediumship Program 101. You go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com. There will be links in the description box below this video. And hopefully you'll join us in the courses and classes for our summer-fall session. And it's a very profound and moving program that we love to share with all of you. Also, I want to remind you that we have next week our 5-day awareness. It's a process of discussion and meditation about how to expand and increase the qualities of your awareness. All the details for that can be observed and picked up at my website, williammichaelforbes.com. Again, a link for the 5 days of awakening. And for those of you who might want to catch the last 3 days of the 5 days of healing, there's a link in the description box below this video. And if you're new to this channel, please remember to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you know whenever we come live. We come live on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And we go live also on Saturdays, on Supernatural Saturday, where we do a specific meditation to integrate the energies from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So again, thank you very much for participating. I want to wish you all much love, and I will see you on Friday on Shortcuts for Your Soul. Bye for now.